G'day, or should I say, fellow creatures of the internet, or should I say, bonjour, madame and monsieur on the internet. The online ambassador of Black Marsh, Bruzo Dragonius, right here in Glenumbra. To be more specific than that, I'm at Daggerfell. Right behind me is this boat that will take me to a new location.
I knew we never should have trusted Baron Montclair. Thanks for saving the city.
Really? Before that, I was interrupted by someone. The reason why I'm here in Daggerfall in Glenumbra, in this soaking wet weather, is because I'm about to catch this boat behind me to the new island of Galen, which is, of course, as that the Firesong DLC is now out on console, even though it's already out on PC. But like before, and this is like the final chapter of the legacy of the Bretons saga and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm just going to go right there now, and I'll just tell you all about it, and my past experiences and all that kind of stuff. So Bruzo, or I'm just talking to myself, if you are watching this, could you please roll the intro? I know that this DLC is out since late last year, but still, to those that want to experience this last DLC for 2022 for themselves, I like to warn the usual spoiler alert past this point to this video, so don't tell me that I spoiled the whole experience for you just because I told you so. Even though that this is a shorter video like all the review of Quarter 4 DLC of Elder Scrolls Online. We are still in the Sisters Archipelago for this DLC, but this time it takes place on the northwest island of the 4-island archipelago, which is Galen. Like the other two islands of the Sisters, Galen still has frequent storms, even though I had to film the start of this video before I stepped foot in the new island in the storm at Daggerfell in Glenumbra. Your usual islands from volcanic vents like on the other two islands, that is the High Isle and Aminos. But it's not really a heavily civilized and architecturally built up area unlike the High Isles, nor heavily colonized, I might add. I would think Galen as another Morton Island of Tamriel, or even Nern. Only one port town of Vasti, and the rest of the Druid encampments, temples, and wilderness, which includes a forest with rivers of volcanic lava instead of water. Speaking of Vasti, like I said, it's a port city that is the only town, hence capital of Galen, and a town where I ended up having to meet Lord Bakar Valaris and Sir Stefan and his father, Count Leonard Renard. As for Lord Bakaro, there is something about him that was twisted, sinister, and evil that revealed him as someone being manipulative. Just like this vampire that I killed in Western Skyrim that was the former High King of Solitude. I will explain what evil deed Lord Bakara has done later in this video. Apparently, as I arrived instead of finding who is this mysterious Ascendant Lord is, making sure this treaty be between the three factions of Tamriel, the entire island is having a problem of organized crime committed by none other than Sea of Pirates. But the Malma are least of the warriors, as there is another threat that concerns the future of the Sisters, as there are groups of rogue druids that are the Firesong Circle. Apparently, the druids of all three circles are under rule or council of one with the title of the Druid King, and apparently has been dead now. All three Druid circles consult with one another who should be the next Druid King, and there is a certain criteria on who should be the next one. Well, I know it's been a long time since I finished Firesong's campaign, so between that and making this video, and even writing the script requires some sort of extra research just to jog my memory. But all I know is that the Arc Druid of the Firesong Circle is the most corrupt druid, hence the Firesong Druids are the Royal Circle that made a deal with making an alliance with the Ascendant Order. Not to mention that I've been on a journey with Free and gone to some sort of past as a human druid to find out what happened. Apparently, the druid king got murdered. As for Free, I see that they ended up becoming wiser and mature as a nature spirit. As the quests continue, they grow up from being more childlike, as seen in the last bit in the prologue, before it developed mentally like an adult. Like Free became more on point, I find on things she's on about become because they understand more about the world around them. And yes, I use they them to describe the one character who is Free, because Free themselves has no gender. No nature spirit has a gender. As for the DLC expansion, the location of Galen, there are no new companions you could get nor earn in this DLC. No public dungeons, but there are 2 delves that has dailies that involve collecting things to help with promoting the tourism of Galen. Not to mention that in one of the delves you end up protecting a herd of fawns against predators, and provide some food, as in berries for them, to feed off by planting the exact seeds for them, which I think is so caring and rewarding to do personally. I personally don't know why fawns are that hostile to me. Maybe you can tell me why in the comments. But there's another wholesome feature in the Firesong DLC, and that is that you can literally pet and interact with different friendly animals throughout all of Galen, especially most on Vasti. That is, I think, an adorable addition to this DLC, and apparently if you find and interact with the listed animals on this activity, you'll get Tales and Tributes card set to add to your collection. Not much of a reward to me personally, as I suck at the card game, but just the wholesomeness of this one feature, I think it adds to the sandbox that is Elder Scrolls Online. Also, there are 2 more world bosses to group up against. One of them is a 3-headed chimera like Guardian, all which are created by the druids as protectors, but this one is somehow running rogue and corrupt. Not to mention that the entirety of the Firesong DLC is not only based in Galen, even though Galen is the most accessible new area as Firesong got released, but other locations which I ended up fighting on is a Malma pirate ship that is christened as the Mad Maiden, docked at West Point, which is located northwest on the island of Galen. That itself we ended up stealing from the Ascendant Order, and the former volcanic island home of the Firesong Circle on the southeast of Galen, that is Iphelon. The base of the large and main volcano of the Sisters, which is Mount Firesong. There is where I ended up teaming with Free in a final confrontation against the Ascendant Lord, who is looking to end the War of Cyrodiil once and for all, but not in a way of actually wanting peace talks among the leader of the 3 factions fighting in the 3-way War of Cyrodiil, but to actually deceive them and all of us into actually killing them and destroying the entire Sisters Archipelago with them in it. The Ascendant Lord wants to be the new Emperor of Tamriel altogether, and ended up as being a tyrannical ruler of it. He and the rest of the Ascendant Order, and with the help of the Firesong Circle, had all its entirety of my mission on the Sisters had brought death and destruction, and notably ended up killing Count Monard by conjuring up earthquakes to Vesti, along with the pirate siege and invasion of that town, and ended up destroying a tower with the Count and many other innocent people in it. Well, he was in the cathedral that was destroyed, leaving many deaths and casualties. And with Count Monard's dead leaves Sir Stephen Monard, his son, inherently in charge of overlooking this operation to bring peace to Galen, and not to mention to politically won and lead Galen to help host peace negotiations among the reprehensive leaders of the three factions. Lord Bakara was thought to host this political negotiation, but he had some other plan for himself, and now there is a sinister twist we discovered. Something incriminating and dark and evil about Lord Bakara. He had ties to order destruction of the sisters. He had ties to the Ascendant Order. He used the Firesong into wreaking havoc of this archipelago. After additional investigation, I ended up doing in the conclusion of the Legacy of the Bretons year-long saga, we discovered that mysterious rogue knight that is the Ascendant Lord is none other than Lord Bakara Valoris himself. That is the dark truth about him. Bakara was a ringleader of order, destruction and death and the sisters. He's a superior to ancient Ascendant Magus. But to get him to confront him for his wrongdoings is no easy, and in fact a life-risking, possibly a life-ending task for both me and the son of a bitch Bakara, as we had to endure a storm. A naval battle between our ship and the ship of the Ascendant Order was on like a naval battle. I did have my pirate friends like Casca and Zargi and this other CL pirate helping me with Free to rescue the captives. And what not to get Bakara, I have... And what not, but I have Free and a companion with me. And Bakara ended up waking the volcano spirit, causing it to erupt with us in it. We had to climb the life-threatening lava that we had to climb up from, but making up to meet and confront the Ascendant Lord Bakara. I was in so much rage, all the deception, the pain it caused the innocent people of the sisters. Enough of it to go bonkers or even beast mode on him. Because in his most powerful and most godlike form, he was a flaming armored entity. Even fighting Bakara took a huge toll on me mentally and physically, like he even topped the Ascendant Mages even. It almost killed me and took huge damage to my armor. I wanted to make him suffer and to stop him doing much further destruction, causing pain and death. Same is Free. No turning back then. No turning back for Bakara. Damn Bakara to the void, as he must suffer for his crime of treason and die for this sin of murder. And that's what's in my mind. I was yelling to Free to help me out of this lava and assist me. Like, I could not take him on my own. And once I finished with killing Bakara, finally, despite not having any option besides that, Mount Firesong was about to explode, even with me and Free in it. No coming to volcano spirit at all. It's impossible. The only thing to stop the explosion is for Free to become the new volcano spirit and calm it down. And in the process, that physical tree form died, protecting me and helping me out of this explosion. I survived that confrontation, but barely. In my campaign throughout the sisters, in the amazing landscape of Galen meeting old friends, especially meeting my new friends Razum Dar and making new ones, as well as ending the legacy of the Bretons saga, I'll give this 10 jars out of his step. Back to you, Bruzo. So, the world and all the sisters have been saved thanks to me and the other people that have been helping me and teaming up with me and all that kind of stuff. You know, apart from all this time that I enjoyed in the sisters, I just can't get over like how people are so greedy. Whether it's one person wants to become the Druid King just for their own selfish gain. And I know that the Firesong had are trying to redeem themselves from their evil ways and all that kind of stuff. And who would have known that the Ascendant Lord is just under my nose all along, but yet none of us, not even myself, any others that I've met and helped, whether it's druids and all that, is none other than the very guy that was supposed to have talks to bring peace in Cyrodiil once and for all. I'm so disillusioned, by the way, to know that the Ascendant Lord has turned out to be someone that I once trusted. Well, once everyone had trusted, that have to bring peace to all of Cyrodiil and hopefully all of Tamriel. And that is none other than that traitorous Lord Picaro himself. But thanks to Free, despite with me freeing myself, risking our lives to stop Lord Picaro in his evil ways against the Ascendant Lord. For once, all the sisters, including he in Galen, have been all safe from now. The storm has withered. There's been less storms and rain and volcanic eruptions, and Free had became one with the volcano and became the new volcano spirit themselves. I'm going to miss Free, where all this is going to take me next. Whether it's some newest journey and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know when this next DLC is going to go. Well, even though that before I even edited this video, I think I did know what's next, because even though that he just told me by the hist. But check this out, because let's check this out. I'm just going to try. Check this out. It has been this is the next chapter that's going on, which is called Necrom. Even though he's told me before it came out on the internet, this is a new DLC, and apparently we are going to another area in Morrowind, more specifically in the Telvanni Peninsula, which is pretty much including the city of Necrom itself. But not only that, but this quest has something to do with, but not only Necrom, but we're going to, in the next DLC, Apocrypha, which if you haven't played, or if you haven't played Skyrim, if you haven't played Skyrim, and if you haven't got the Dragonborn DLC from Skyrim, you would have noticed that Apocrypha is actually the home realm within Oblivion of the Daedric Prince, Hermaeus Mora himself. So I'll probably show you him, which is this guy there. That is Hermaeus Mora. He's just he's like a really weird Cthulhu type Daedric Prince and all that kind of stuff with all the tentacles, but that's what he looks like. Like it's just been out. There's a new class and all that kind of stuff. That's just the full body version of Hermaeus Mora as well, as you can know, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm just going to get back to the actual
review video just to cover off. So this is where I am going next. Even though that the pre-orders are out. Okay, so I'll be also going there as the DLC comes out. Now, back to the video.
It's getting late right now, and I might just enjoy my time right here in the Sisters for a bit longer, right here in Galen, or just when summoned, maybe go off to some other world-saving adventure, but who knows. I'm just going to end it all, so if you do like this review or something like that, make sure you show me by pressing a thumbs up. Make sure that you consider subscribing to my channel onto YouTube by pressing the subscribe button, which is one way of supporting me. Also comment down your feedback on this, as well of what you think of this review. Okay. And another ways that you can support me, whether it's financially or through social media, is also on the description down below also. Well, I just sort of moved and all that kind of stuff. So, please comment down what you think. Thank you so much for supporting me, whether it's through your subscriptions or even to watching this video right to the end. You're all amazing, and I love you because of it. And you'll always be amazing to me, no matter what you do. Until next time, I just wanted to wrap it up by saying that this is the most must-see and subscribe going and online ambassador of Black Marsh, Bruzo Dragonius. Thank you for watching this all the way to the end, and to my new subscribers. And as always, may His guide you all. Bye for now.